today, my friend?
I am doing good. Just making it through another week.
Welcome back, man. I love Mondays and Fridays because I get my two regular co-hosts in here with me. Brady Brooks is on the other side of the glass over there, answering the phone calls and pushing buttons, and you can reach us at 850-374-3468. I'm going to have pretty much an open hour this first hour, which is a lot different than we had yesterday, which was a very action-packed day yesterday. It's been an action-packed week as far as guests. Yesterday, I had the mayor of Destin, Mr. Bobby Wagner, on the phone for about 15 minutes. After that, I had Dr. Jeff Risley of Coastal Vascular and Intervention. He decided to stick around for 30 minutes. It was one of those cool opportunities where I got to ask some random questions about stuff that maybe I was too embarrassed to ask in the whole waiting room or in the medical room. I did. Speaking of waiting rooms, I actually had him wait out here for 30 minutes before he went on, and I kind of took my power back with that. It was very
a little role reversal,
counterintuitive for me to put the doc in the waiting room. And then at 4 o'clock, Mr. James Ruckle, yes, of the Ruckle family. So we talked a little bit about local history and his familial background, and he was promoting a really cool adult speed dating event that's going to be taking place January 17th at the Downtown Music Hall. And I also spoke to Ian Christensen earlier today from the Downtown Music Hall, and we're going to try to get him on at some point next week as well. Lots of cool things going on. And then we finally had yesterday a visit by Miss Shelby Harkins, who was a complete stranger to me, but this happens more than you know, believe it or not. It's really weird to talk about, but I have a Facebook group. It's like 17 years old. It's kind of popular. But within like a 4-mile radius because it has to do with the history of Okaloosa County. Anyway, from time to time, I get messages from people who I don't necessarily know beyond seeing them potentially on Facebook from time to time. But people, I guess, know me because I've been posting a bunch of superfluous fluff over the years. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hey, this is special bonus coverage here for Facebook Live. We're gonna break some news, I guess, then, because as I finish up my big day of interviews yesterday with Miss Shelby Harkins, who was with Emerald Coast United, and she had a really cool artifact for me, a 1968 Pryor Junior High School LP record, and we talked a little bit about her really cool organization, Emerald Coast United, and then she has also been cast in this spring production of Rent, being put on by Stagecrafters Community Theater, which is one of the oldest continuously running community theaters in the state of Florida. So thank you so much to Shelby Harkins for showing up yesterday. But basically, that was my whole day without you guys yesterday. It was action-packed. It was probably the quickest show brain-wise for me, as I had something to do the entire time. Speaking of someone to interview, now I had withheld this little surprise from you guys a day, asking him to be pulled in whatever direction around town. And we almost had him in here today, but his schedule got the best of him, which it is probably want to do most of the time. So instead, on Monday at 3:15, we're going to have Mr. Justin Nunley on the show here, live in studio.
That's big.
Big time influencer. He's got 9.8 million Instagram followers. He's got 4 million Facebook followers. He's probably got another 10 million TikTok followers. And you have definitely seen his reels and videos as you've been doom scrolling at night. He's the hey, listen, did you know guy? And he usually wears the Crocs, and he does advertisements for Live Oak Fiber, and recently purchased a partnership with the Harley Davidson dealership. So yeah, I was able to break through all the noise of his DMs, I guess, and he's excited to be joining us here in studio. 3:15, Mr. Justin Nunley. Oh, yeah.
In the videos he records, like some videos.
Yeah, I had a brief chance to run into Justin about 2 years ago at Goofy Golf, ironically. And it was busy night, and he was there with his family, and I shot my shot. I said, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And he did kind of seem a little annoyed because, and I get it, yeah, it was family time, but he did acquiesce and he smiled for the photo, and I got my moment. And then I saw him again at Choctaw during orientation last year. He and his family came into my room. There was like a little administrative glitch, and they had a different classroom assigned to my classroom number. So I had people from a Spanish class coming into my class, my history class, thinking that they were supposed to be somewhere. And for a minute there, I thought I was going to be teaching his student, his child. But it was just a brief conversation, and I'm not sure if he knew that I knew who he was and everything. But he was very active in the football stands. I remember last year seeing him quite a bit, pulling for Choctaw, and it's always nice to see someone who's kind of made it, quote unquote, but give back to the community and be so present in the community. So really looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Justin, if you're listening. Justin Danger Nunley going to be joining us on Monday's show at 3:15. Justin or Justin's son? Well, is that a fact? I wonder what his order is. Well, look at that. Just flying by already. That first segment was, man, Yeah, well, I hear the music, so does that mean that they were back on the radio air? And I can tell you on Facebook simulcast, they're not hearing you for some reason. I don't know if that's a you problem or a board over here problem. I hear you too. Either way, for Walton Beach, what we're doing is trying to figure out to get to the bottom of this. Thank you for sticking around regardless if you're out there. Okay, so
on YouTube,
no one can. I just adjusted some knobs. Did anything improve with Brady? Are you hearing him now?
He's not talking.
Well, towards the end of the segment, I'm reading your comments saying that you can't hear Brady.
Brady, talk.
Well, they won't hear it now because they'll
true.
hear the commercials.
True.
Well,
You don't have that
actually,
thing
and I
plugged
also
in.
don't have the thing plugged
Yeah.
in. This is what brings the commercials on. Well, shit. Man, how are we going to get Brady? What the hell is
USB-C
this?
Lightning.
Let me ask Frank.
Hello, Brazil. Hello, Turkey. Wow. Impressive.
I hear him fine, yeah.
Brazil and Turkey. On that YouTube Live, you got people watching from Brazil and Turkey.
Oh, nice.
So you're international now.
Wow, that's
Should be-
multi-continent.
That qualifies
I mean, that's-
as an intercontinental title.
Turkey is right on the Asia-European line too, so that's technically two continents with Turkey.
That's true. So
And-
you're on
and-
three. We're
and-
live on four continents.
Four continents. Four continents.
Minimum.
Yeah, plus incontinents.
Yes. See what he picks to come back from of all your options.
Okay, well we know that the break happens around like 4:29 and 30 seconds, or is it 4:30 on the dot? All right. Well, welcome to live radio, ladies and gentlemen. We're improvising, adapting, and overcome. I see on Facebook Live that people are not able to hear Brady for some reason. Oh, now we hear him. Okay, so whatever just happened has been rectified. Brady, say hello to your followers, man. They've been waiting all week for you to come back.
Wow.
You were at the Beale Parkway location? Okay. Are, does everyone have a specialty job that they do, or is it kind of like a rotating fashion there? Frosted sodas. Do they come in diet though? Ooh, game changer. Son of a bitch. As well, you should. Is it your pleasure? Tell me at what point in the training that gets drilled into the staff. That was going to be my question. Is like, what if you arrive to work and your frown is, and you need your frown turned upside down? Like, do you just have to fake it till you make it? That's great. There's an expectation that there's not going to be a crash out, and hmm. Right. I tried that in my classroom and it didn't work. Just letting people do whatever. If I had had a whole staff of Chick-fil-A employees, maybe they would have.
Well, morale's a lot higher at Chick-fil-A than it is at school.
You know, there's some, well, I mean, at most jobs, really. I mean, I've sold cars in the past, and God bless those car salesmen who were able to be successful at it. But I never was able to reconcile the fact that people were showing up to work absolutely despising me before they ever even knew me,
Right.
because of all the memes out there and the bad car actors that do what they do. So it was always my preference to just sort of lay back and like allow them to park their vehicle and put it in park and check their mirror and maybe check their Facebook on their phone and not have us like knocking on the door.
Get out of the car, sir. I need
Yeah,
coffee.
like being the first meme that they were already being expected to be treated like, you know? Yeah. See, that was my problem with cars. I wanted there to be a system where we could could be my turn this time to go out to greet them after they've been there for a minute and had a chance to breathe. But we never had a system. It was like, okay, get out there, you got to get that first up. And I didn't want to be that. So I was never successful enough because I wasn't able to find that happy medium between being the butthead car salesman that they expected to be treated like, and the nice, happy-go-lucky guy that just wanted to take his time and make you laugh the whole way, you know?
Right. Well, you know, humor sells sometimes.
Yeah. Wow. This is Ronnie's? Tommy's.
So Brady, how many times when you ask somebody when was the last time you got your car washed, how many times did you get the answer the last time it rained? It seems like it would be common. Yes.
Look at you adding value to it. You know, you'd probably be good at most any sales. You ought to give a car sales a try. You Confucius say? He's only 17 years old. That's Mr. Brady Brooks. What time do we have here? Okay. Well, I do see that Irish Bill is in the comments, and it looks like he threw a little bit of shade there on you, Brady. He said, well, you need to clean up your game then, Brady. LOL. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, Irish Bill. We're going to have you on at 4 o'clock in our Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day. Sponsored by Miracle Strip Body Shop. Mr. James DeSaven over at Racetrack Road, helping serve customers all the way since 1966. There are not that many businesses in this area that can say they have been actively, nonstop, serving customers that long. Let's see, Miracle Strip Body Shop. There's Goofy Golf. There's Gatlin Lumber and the Golfarium. Indian Temple Mound, maybe. Don't wait. Well, I haven't been here that long. My soul is older than dirt, which I have a feeling that you've got a little bit of muddy soul too there. Yeah. Well, if you would like to give us a call at the studio, we have no guests until 4 o'clock, so it's kind of open talk. Our phone number is 850-374-3468. Yeah, I don't know where the backwards went one way. We'll have to make a new one. But 850-374-3468. The show is for Walton Beach, what we're doing. If you own a local business, we could be naming this hour of this show after your business and be talking about it this entire time and then be going to commercial, running a commercial of that business. This is for 10 hours a week that we get to do this. And I Facebook simulcast, and all the commercials are heard in the middle of there. And I had 2,500 viewers for yesterday's show. So there's a quantifiable metric for how many people are actually hearing your radio's commercial, which I can't guarantee a quantifiable number for just over-the-air terrestrial, how many people are living in their cars. So something to think about. This isn't going away. I've got people coming to me now to do interviews, and I've got Justin Nunley next Monday. I spoke this morning at the First Friday Coffee with our state representative, Mr. Pat Maney. He's going to be on the show in the next week or two. Their opportunities are boundless. Does anyone know how to get in contact? Look, I guess there's something else to talk about on the way back. All right, you're listening to Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing. Give us a call at the studio, 850-374-3468. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Something funny we said, something ridiculous we said, something cool that's upcoming, all right? That's what we do around here. Stick around. Whew.
I wonder if this is it. Probably not.
No, it was on a bigger one. I guess it just got thrown away. I'll make a new one.
No, this is it. I knew it.
It is?
Yeah.
All right.
Now if I can undo it without whipping it. There we go.
Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Okay. Watch me.
Now, when I do that, it'll be backwards to Brady. But it's forwards to you.
Oh, very nice. How many people are tuned in on yours?
Well, it was 5. We were down to 1.
Well,
Wonder if it's still Turkey
I have 5
or
now too, so.
Wonder if it was Turkey or Brazil is still with us. Turkey or Brazil, if you're still with us, say something in the comments, not audibly.
If you say something, see something.
Maybe if there's anybody listening that was on the 1986 Fort Walton Beach boys varsity football team, you can call in. Tell us your record that year and how you did against your county rivals like Choctaw, Crestview, Niceville. I think you guys used to win games back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but I think they made the playoffs 15 years ago.
Who? Florida State?
Fort Walton.
Oh.
I said if anybody's listening from the 1986 team, feel free to call in, tell us about your season, how you did against your county rival. That's why I said I think they used to win games back then.
Oh, yeah, now I got you.
It's been a long time, but I think in '86
They got a good team this year. Of course, they got a couple Choctaw players, but I'm not complaining about that because that's just
in football.
In basketball.
Oh yeah, just their starting point guard was Choctaw's starting point
Charge
guard.
it to the game. That's how it is in high school. You know, you win some, you lose some.
But they do not have Michael Collins that you can say in your jaws or
Michael!
From your PA days.
Hey, there's a big fish down here, man.
Oh yeah, how big? That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Because then it just came up on Lance Guest, a.k.a. The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, he sure was. I can't think of anything else that Lance Guest was in. I can't come up with a single guest.
I couldn't guess.
But his Alex Rogan's girlfriend from Last Starfighter, she played in Weekend at Bernie's. She was the little
One or
girl
two?
One.
Is that Bernie's Rolex? He's not going to need it. It's
Yeah.
always my favorite scene. Andrew McCartney from Mannequin?
Yes.
Yes.
Andrew McCarthy.
Mannequin.
And also from the Benneker Gang, a really obscure, like 1986 movie that had the sister from Parker Lewis Can't Rules in it.
Can't Lose.
Can't Lose,
Yeah.
yes. And Andrew McCarthy, they were like a bunch of adopted kids, but Andrew McCarthy had just turned 18 and they didn't want to separate. He's like, well, hey, I'm an adult now. Let me just kidnap you and we'll all just live together.
Was that guy named Corin Nemec?
Yeah, Corin Nemec was the
Nemec.
guy from Life Goes On, right?
No, Parker
No,
Lewis.
Parker
Can't
Lewis.
Yeah.
That was Corky Lewis on Life Goes On.
Chris Burke.
Ah,
But his character's name was Corky Lewis. But he was played by Chris Burke, not class of 96 Chris Burke, although it was still same spelling.
that's right, that's right. Rest in peace, Chris Burke.
Yes. Fallen Indian. Can't wait to hear, Bill, if you're still watching, can't wait to hear your take on Jay Walls. What huge.
Yeah, well, they can't hear us right now. They hear the commercials, but
They can see our mouse moving, so if we
True.
have lip readers,
true.
we better not say goddamn.
Oh, don't know where it is. Nobody's listening.
But they're watching.
The Braves have severed their television
I
contract.
saw it. There's a couple other teams listed with them.
Do you get the MLB TV anyway, so it doesn't matter?
Yeah, because we get it free with T-Mobile. If you have T-Mobile phone, home internet, or both, you get the MLB season pass for free. So that was a huge perk.
I signed
Because
up
my
Jack,
dad watched all 162 or whatever Braves games every year.
I signed up Jack for the Flow subscription network, which is like Division 2, Division 3, all the CAA games. Like UNCW looks really good. They're a very good mid-major. They're 15-2.
You made tournament a lot.
They're 4-0. They won the CBI tournament in 2022.
Oh, wow.
They were CBI national
Wow.
champions.
They probably got rings, and they probably got a banner. And at the end of the day,
I saw the banner.
Bill, you are watching, or you're rewatching. I was talking about you. You can't hear me, but curious to hear what he thinks about the Soundside hiring. Which I'm disappointed because I thought it was Bayside. And that would have been so cool. Soundside High School out there, the new high school. I heard it was going to be Bayside. And that would have been so cool.
Just the two of us.
Bayside is cool. It's cool.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Oh, you and I.
Yeah, there's three.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, there are. Me too. And that's usually only on Mondays and Fridays because, man, like
Takes
school
a lot
and
of work.
and yeah.
If we could just live life without having to work, things would be a lot better.
You know, they say money isn't the root of, well, money doesn't solve all the problems, but it, you know, it would put a huge dent in a
Yeah.
lot of mine.
Well, point me in that direction if you hear anything.
Well, I think Venezuela might be hiring for a job over with those conditions.
Fernando?
Yeah. You're listening to For Walton Beach, What We're Doing. This is your daily dose of calling us at 850-374-3468.
Did you make a new one?
No, that was the straight one.
There we go.
This is this is the other one. On Facebook simulcast, it's like a mirror image, so I have to write the phone number down backwards as if I'm dyslexic. So that's what we're talking about.
He believes in dog.
Bill Hamill just said, "Don't quit your day job." I'm not sure whose dad joke fell over flat, but we'll try harder tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but definitely on Monday. Monday's going to be a good show, by the way. I don't know if the radio broadcast got a chance to hear it because I think we had some technical difficulties in the beginning. But on the Facebook Live, you've already heard this part, but there's no reason leaving the cat in the bag. Mr. Justin Nunley, TikTok influencer, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. He lives locally. You've definitely seen some of his reels and you've scrolled right past him multiple times as you're doom scrolling at night. He's going to be in studio with us this Monday, 3:15, in studio. Mr. Justin Danger Nunley. Gonna talk about all the cool stuff going on in his life. I wanna get his origin story to this area. I want to. I don't know. I watched the Undertaker podcast, the 6 Feet Under podcast.
Yeah.
He was actually a guest on that last
Presented
year.
by Happy Dad.
Yeah. And so anything that I don't learn from that, I'm gonna try to pick up and ask him as well. So if you can think of any questions that you would like us to ask Mr. Justin Danger Nunley for Monday's show at 3:15. I'm not sure how long he's going to stick around with us. I'll probably make about 4 different scenarios of paperwork, or a 15-minute segment, one for a 30-minute segment, and who knows? Maybe we'll have so much fun to decide to stick around. He's a very busy guy.
You know, I have noticed, over the weeks, over the month, that when you do ask guests, whether it be via phone or in studio, hey, do you mind sticking around for another segment? You have a pretty high success rate of yeses.
I really appreciate that. That happened earlier on Tuesday with the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, very iconic wrestler and promoter, comes from one of the most famous wrestling families, the Welsh families, going over 100 years back. And I messaged him after the show was over, and he said, I was so thrilled I was having so much fun that I decided to stick around for an extra segment for you guys. And that's just high praise coming from him, because he's done a lot of big podcasts.
Yeah, it says a lot about you and your show. Yeah, absolutely.
It could be because I'm long-winded and don't get to the point of the questions enough and answer them myself before I'm done asking them.
So are we actually on the radio now? Okay. Ballpark Frank is busy.
Yeah, he's so busy. Yesterday, it's so stressful, right, Brady? You don't. And by the way, Frank, if you're listening, I love you. You do a great job. You do so many things around here, and I get it. But Brady, you sit there the entire time. You're engaged. I have no clock in here, especially when I'm Facebook simulcasting. So I really need to get a watch or a clock or something. But I rely on you to give me little hand signals, how many minutes we got left, and Frank up and vanishes like a fart in the wind pretty often.
You know what? I think I'd put over Brady's hand signals every time I've been on the show.
Yeah.
It's a lot more clutch than you would think.
No, it's definitely helpful. He'll hold up 3 fingers, and it's amazing how quickly those 3 minutes will go by.
And when he does hold up one finger, it's actually the pointer.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, we got a few minutes left in this little segment. Is there anything in particular? Because I've got a couple things I could go on, but I feel like I've been talking already a lot. And I know that you're the sports guy, and we've got Irish Bill at 4, so let's try to stretch any real sports talk until the 4 o'clock hour. Okay. Wasn't he one of the sons from Malcolm in the Middle?
He's got 3 names. You never trust a guy with 3 names.
Looking at you, Andy Vance like.
Yeah. John Vanderwall. So Brady, do you think the GOAT, Serena Williams, will have any say in the hiring process? Or is she a silent part? Well, I know that she is a part owner of the Miami Dolphins. I don't know how big of a stake, silent partner, whatever, but I do know Serena Williams is a part owner of the Miami Dolphins. The single greatest athlete in the history of sports.
You have stuck to your guns on that. That has been a consistent argument of yours for at least 15 years.
It cannot be. The argument cannot be shot down. She won a major tennis tournament pregnant. There's nobody that can top that, at least in the male gender.
Yeah, but Monica Seles was stabbed.
Monica Seles did get stabbed in 1993, and Andre Agassi refuses to pay $1 extra for pepperoni on his pizza and just gets plain cheese. Absolutely, you can't top that feat. She has 25 Grand Slams to boot. Besides that, there's very few people in sports you can definitively say are the GOAT without an argument, and I think that is Wayne Gretzky, Tom Brady, and Serena Williams.
Do you agree with Tom Brady? Yeah. Speaking of at least other GOATs that graze on the same field near Brady, I actually thought when you mentioned the GOAT, you were going to ask about Marino. Does Marino insert himself into Miami Dolphins politics? I don't really hear his name. Like Elway definitely does, and
You know, as impressive as that is, which is very, very impressive, Babe Ruth used to do that, besides the fact drinking beer and eating hot dogs in the dugout in between innings.
I do wonder how Babe Ruth would he be able to get the bat swing around fast enough for these 100-mile-an-hour?
You know, Babe Ruth once lost a perfect game with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth because he knocked out the home plate umpire after a bad call. He punched him in the face.
This is the 2-minute break.
You think Otani could pull that off?
Let's
do what?
Get in the backstage talk here.
Babe Ruth once lost a perfect game with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth because he knocked out the home plate umpire, punched him in the face after a bad call.
No, I thought he got through one hitter and then did it, and then the dude pitched 8 2/3.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
But yeah, he and this guy would do what Shohei Otani's doing while drinking beer and eating hot dogs in the dugout.
Otani's doing it against like the most elite people. He's got a hell of a guy in Vegas that can give him all the
Yeah,
stats
yeah, he's got a great bookie.
Yeah.
If you put Babe Ruth in today's game, what's he doing?
We don't know.
That's what I just said when you were on your way over here. I'm like, I don't know if he can get the bat
nothing.
around fast enough. I don't know if he can get the first base fast
back
enough.
Back in the Babe Ruth era, Walter Big Train Jones for the Twins did have 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
Allegedly. I don't think he
Yeah.
did.
There was no speed
I don't
clock.
think.
But yeah, also, you know, there's
Probably
pitching
Colombo.
These
stats are so
these
weird.
pitchers would pitch complete games, all 30 starts. They did not have bullpens.
Yeah.
They batted. You know, they were probably in better shape and better athletes than a lot of people give them credit for.
Probably, but I just think Babe Ruth, yeah, he's at a disadvantage, but you can't discount Otani. You know, he does have all this.
It's just too bad there's no way metrically or statistically to tell how.
I almost think that if Lou Gehrig could have stayed healthy, he would have been better in the long run than.
That's not ridiculous.
I feel that about Grant Hill. I feel that about Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, those are two guys that could have been up in the top 10 of all time in their respective sports that just.
I don't hear anything, Brady. Oh,
Just couldn't
wait.
stay healthy.
Oh, I hear it now. Okay.
Are we on the air? We'll get a hand signal.
Okay.
Another GOAT you can't argue besides Wayne Gretzky and Serena Williams. Terry Bollea. Unarguable. Wrestling would not be where it is It would not have national television contracts. There would not be
Depends on
pay-per-view events.
like New York wrestling or old school
Just,
wrestling.
just
I don't
professional wrestling.
taking it to where it would.
Yeah, he made it mainstream. Well, if you look at the dimensions, the fields were much, much larger in Babe Ruth's era.
And it was a dead ball too. It was
Yeah, I think
very
the
hard to
Polo
do.
Grounds was 520 to dead center.
Yeah, like
on
that-
MLB 25 the show.
The Yankee Stadium wasn't the biggest, but but Babe Ruth had far less strikeouts and than Hank Aaron. I think Hank Aaron had like more than 1,000 strikeouts than.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've come a long way since the Crisco and Bardall days.
Yeah, well,
Any one of them
yeah.
give you a 2 to 3 inch drop on your curveball.
You know, the mound has already been moved back single-handedly because of Bob Gibson. Rumor has it, legend has it. I don't know if that's true, but that's always been a legend.
Have you ever seen the baseball card? It's a team photo, and Bob Gibson is sitting next to Bob Uecker. We quote Bob Uecker all
Yeah.
the time. Harry Doyle from Major League, and you can pull this up, Brady. They're holding hands in this photo. This is a late '60s, early '70s team photo, and it's such a rib.
Yeah.
I can picture Bob Uecker saying, "Hey, Bob, do that." And Bob Gibson was a hard ass. You didn't
Yeah.
mess
Oh, yeah.
with him.
No,
You
no,
didn't
no.
look him in the eye. You didn't try him. And so it's just really cool that out of all the players that you could have done that to, he did it to Bob freaking Gibson.
Bob Gibson would get mad on days that they did not play doubleheaders.
Were they holding hands or were they flipping the bird? I think they were holding hands. Are you looking it up? It was that long ago. Wow.
With his 101
What card was that? 64 tops? 65 tops?
Wow.
Wow.
Who was the owner of the Cardinals in that year?
Vec? Was it Vec?
Paul?
Bill Vec? Vech? No, was he the Cleveland? Vec was the guy that was always putting the midget, like he had the midget, sorry, we can't use that word. The little person. No, well,
Findagrave.com.
could have been Marge Shot for all we know, or her old husband or something.
Sounds a lot like Eddie Rosario in 2021.
The thing about Ohtani that impresses me is he's never played down. He's always lived up to the expectations. Yeah, whether it was playing for the crappy Angels, it wasn't Ohtani's fault. He was doing everything possible. And then, hey, we're going to trade you to the Dodgers, and they're going to pay you, my goodness, a ridiculous amount of money. And he didn't let that pressure get to him anyway. He just picked up right where he was and took him to a World Series. Two World Series. 9 times.
Trey Turner did 3 times this year. He had games of 9 total bases or more. Oh, 9 at bats. I thought they meant 9 total bases.
I'm excited for baseball season for you, Brady. You told me it was your passion at the very beginning. We in our group text we were talking about a really cool opportunity for Choctaw baseball. They're actually going to play a baseball game against Freeport on March 27th in the Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium. I think that's just a really cool opportunity. This morning I was at the Chamber of Commerce First Friday Coffee, and I was speaking to Mr. R.J. Murdoch of Emerald Coast Television and pitching him the idea, because I either way, I think that we should look into doing a radio broadcast of that. But if we could enhance that by adding a professional television view, I think it would be great. RJ was all about doing it, but unfortunately he's got a wedding that particular day. So if you are an amateur videographer and you've got some professional equipment, we'd love to talk to you about maybe helping us put off a really cool broadcast from the Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium on March 27th as the Choctawhatchee Indians travel to face the Bulldogs of Freeport?
The Freeport Bulldogs.
Yeah. And I wouldn't close the door completely on basketball. I was talking to Coach Bennett earlier today on Facebook, and he was inquiring if we could do something. And honestly, we can. I've got all the radio equipment. We could set up there and do a broadcast the same way I did for football. But it's not something that can, business wise, we personally would do it for free because we love doing it.
We will do it.
But
for free.
the station's got to pay for that airtime. So if you're an advertiser and you'd like to fund us doing whatever few basketball games are left, at least the big ones, the division ones, and any potential.
I believe there's 15.
Then
we're about at the halfway point.
We could probably get that done for about $1,000. All right, not for us. That's just for the radio station.
We will do it for free.
Yes. So. Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
And doing basketball, that's my favorite sport. And it's such a. It presents such a challenge compared to other sports along the lines of the pace and how descriptive you have to be. I would embrace that challenge.
Yeah, I would give you the lead on it too, and I would give Brady the lead on baseball as well. I'm looking forward to seeing him call a game actually.
Because I grew up on the famous Mick Hubert calling Gator basketball, and I know what it takes and how. Top of the key, right elbow, the paint, the wing. You have to be very descriptive. It's very high paced compared to football and baseball.
You can't just be, whoa, that should have been a foul, ref.
Yeah, or he just made the shot.
Boom!
A 15-foot jumper or a running one-hander in the lane instead of just, Christopher Smith makes a 2-point basket.
Yeah.
So I embrace the challenge.
Yeah, so just the opportunities abound. If you would like to sponsor this show, if you'd like to help us do Choctaw basketball games, if you want to just do something more traditional, we're actually putting on a really cool fundraiser called the Super Bowl, but it's like a bowl of soup, okay? So I know we're not allowed to say what the big game is, but on that same weekend as the big game, we're putting on the Super Bowl, SOUPER. That is a Super Bowl and adoption fest. It's to benefit Paws. So if you are a restaurant that feels really good about a signature soup on your menu, and we're going to expand this to gumbo and chili. For all intents and purposes, those will all be considered soups for this.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you considered chili soup.
Not normally, but for this, I want to eat some chili at this event.
Because I've never put soup on a hot dog, but I quite enjoy chili on a hot dog.
Yeah, I've never had a soup sandwich, but
do they have chili dogs here?
I had a manwich. Huh?
Do they have chili dogs here?
I could go for one right now.
I'll order for us.
Okay.
That was Charlie Sheen and Tom Berenger.
Okay, that's Jake Vaughn and
Ricky Vaughn and Jake Taylor.
Ricky Vaughn and Jake Taylor.
What has happened to you? Well, intentional walk does not. A walk in general does not count as a plate appearance.
You're right. But it counts as a total base, though.
It does count as a total base.
Okay. So a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Got it.
Just how you word it. Hey.
So for the first 4 at bats, he had 2 wins and 2 doubles. They had seen it all, and the Dodgers were hoping to get the run and win. They were right. They walked in 9th inning. They walked in 17th. Was the 4th intentional walk that he had gotten. Or no, the 17th wasn't an intentional walk.
You know, there's no way his interpreter took the over on 9 bases.
No, that is so much walking. That is some Christopher walking.
Paul Reiser.
Ooh, I like it.
Nice. You can play Pantera's Walk.
And they're walking after midnight. So we're gonna have the Super Bowl and Adoption Fest. It's going to be on the Friday before the big game. Our event is called the Super Bowl and Adoption Fest. It's going to be held at Mid-South Bank. And we'll put some information up on the website. If you are a restaurant with a signature soup, or even if you're just a homemade homemaker that has a really good familial recipe and you want to enter it, it's open to you as well. Stick around for Walton Beach, what we're doing.
The more soup without onion and tomatoes and peppers, the better.
We're probably just gonna eat soup and bread and get all fat and sassy.
Didn't Ralphie say it was
Yes.
the soup?
It was soap poisoning.
Yeah, that's right. I just
And then the dad's like,
Except I didn't say fudge.
yep. I said the word.
The word
The
of all
F
words. The
dash
most forbidden.
dash word. The queen mother of all words. What did you say? I
When he told the mom, no!
what I thought you said. You know what your son just said?
Well, Brazil and Turkey got bored of us.
Ah, damn.
Freaking presidents anyway.
Yeah, I hope he goes live on his and he gets 100,000 or whatever. Whereas mine is a consistent 3. But by the end of the day, it'll be like 2,000.
Yeah, mine has been up to 19 and it has been at 0. So there is a fluctuation, like the flux capacitor. Ballpark Frank from the Rob Brown days. What a veteran. No hand signals today. What's up? We just put them over. He'll finally put it all together. But unfortunately, Parker Field is not a hitter.
Look, he's here. Yeah, we don't want to make it better.
Well, that's right. Good. So 140 is going to be closer to the window. So we can't do it. We get video to throw the face like players real world championship belt. That would be awesome.
Yeah, something like that, so I can show you and be seen.
Colder weather is coming. Is your car ready? At Coastal Auto Express.
By the way, I do Congratulations to the Tennessee rookies, Shamir Diaghilevi. Your rookie award for setting a Tennessee Titans rookie record for most career yards. And you're talking about the likes of Steve McNair, Eddie George, Frank Wycheck, Shamir DJ. University award. Okay.
And who was the big running back for the Houston Oilers back in the day?
Number 34.
Well, I can't
God
remember.
dang it. Yeah, he wasn't a power back. He was a Jerome Bettis Vaughn power back. He wore number 34.
Oh my God.
Warren Moon was the quarterback.
Why can't I think of the running back for the Houston Oilers in 1980?
Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell.
I told him 34. He was not an east-west guy. He was a north-south ball.
You want a minute? I gotta get going now. Bill, oh, yeah, Bill,
Right now, Bill.
Irish Bill.
I think Frank just came in from burning a lung dart.
Oh, dude, he kind of looks a weird.
He had a I deferred to hear look on his face.
Cool.
And some of the things that unfortunately happen, due to not having time. So we just got along. I think we have more time than we have. And unfortunately, Garrett is off. He's off doing something. I don't know, whatever it is, Garrett. Hopefully the radio isn't allowing you to come on back. But right now, we have Irish Bill on the phone. Bill, we have you on some indicator days and we talk a little bit about football every day. Actually, we have a game to talk about last night. Miami played and Carson Wentz unlocked his front team and hit the ring against Oregon. I won't say it any further than anyone thought they would, but they were already tied to the person who had a very good reputation to win the really good game in the NFC. Carson Wentz has been good all time. He's been all postseason. He don't go as far as Carson Wentz likes them. He can win them. Maybe he's going on the championship, but he could also be the reason that they could have lost. Right now, he's just really good.
Now, Bill, I'll put you on the spot.
I don't hear you.
That's But strangely enough, Bill, the last time Miami was in the Fiesta Bowl, they did make that call in that situation against Ohio State, Ken Dorsey.
A lot of people argue that 2002 Miami team was one of the best all time.
You know, well, they are not now. They don't have a banner, so. I'm a little biased to the 2008 Florida Gator football team.
2013 FSU.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I had a really hard time rooting for Miami last. I know that I'm a Florida State fan. I know I'm supposed to root for the ACC, but I guarantee you the Yankees do not root for the Red Sox because they're both in the AL East.
No, absolutely not.
I've never understood the rationale behind it. But that being said, I mean, the SEC is always talking their crap. Miami looked tougher and more resilient than they have in years. There's a fun fact about Miami. They've been in the ACC since 2005, I think. They have never even played for the ACC championship, and yet here they are. That didn't matter. They just eliminated the last SEC school, and they're going to be playing for the national championship.
But well, with the transfer portal, the 3 remaining teams probably have enough SEC guys to make an actual team.
Yeah, you're right about that. But Indiana has 0 5-stars.
Yeah, Carson Beck, right off the bat. Absolutely. So, Bill, let's put you on the spot. Talk about the big hiring in the Panhandle this week. There we go. Absolutely, and that was, it was big news. It was exciting news, but it's just news that a lot of people I talked to kind of either guessed or saw coming. People acted like it was not a surprise, like I did. I couldn't think of a better direction to go in. I mean, in his tenure in Navarre, I know he had 7 district titles, 2 state semifinals. What was he, Bill? 112 and 64, something crazy like that. Unreal. With 7 district titles, correct? Yes. I was at the Lake Gibson game in person that year. That's your brother. Should make it easier for Baker.
I was going to wonder, is Baker going to follow suit? Or
Former Gator tight end. And for those of you that don't know high school football in Florida, or high school outside of the Panhandle, you do not get as much more tradition and success in Madison County. That was the Bobby Bowden philosophy, I believe, when he took over the FSU job. We'll play anybody, anywhere, and that's how you build a program. Troy did it. Yep. You know, I did read that article on Twitter or X that I believe it was Andy Vilmanzaro about the head coach football salary in the state of Georgia compared to Florida and some other states. It was unreal. And you wonder if that's why people like Jay Walsh had a shorter leash. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's unreal unless you have private boosters and touchdown clubs that, you know, give the certain coaches that used to coach this area a spiff. Yes.
We're going to get to those games after the end of this break, Bill. Please stick around for 2 minutes, all right?
Thank you, Bill. Like you walk in and he's doing something really inappropriate. Jerry, gay.
Yeah. You can't say Jerry Gay on the air.
It doesn't matter. Nobody's listening. They might be watching, but they're not listening, and they can't hear us. So unless you can read lips,
They can't hear us.
not Lewis Lips, as of Southern Miss and the Miami Dolphins. Do you think Brady is a big Dolphins fan? Has ever heard of Lewis Lips, the wide receiver?
You think you've ever heard of Fuad Reveiz?
Reggie
Wait,
Roby?
or wait, no, he was the Minnesota.
No, he was.
Okay, he
Tampa,
was.
Miami.
He was Miami. Okay.
Reggie Roby was their punter.
Mark Duper.
Mark Clayton.
Who the hell was Mark Duper?
Mark Duper's for the Dolphins.
Okay. Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith. FSU or Miami?
FSU.
FSU. I knew one of the two. Defense. Ooh.
Brian Burns.
I have no idea.
No, he was. Yeah, he was like a dirty player. Remember, he got kicked off. Brian something. He was an offensive lineman. He spit in someone's face.
Brandon Spikes.
No. We would always get calls for Terry's Tropical Fish because our number was 862-8322.
Oh wow! Did
But
you ever
theirs
go
was
along with it?
6322.
Yeah, we check and see if we have any of those babies.
And then Tony's Italian Pizza was 862-8323.
That's okay. Ours was 862-7484, and the Al Goods was 863-7484. So I'd get many calls from my cousin Greg Turp.
Why did your dad have to switch from 7484 to 863-1907?
It just happened when we moved. I don't know why.
It seemed like you had the 7484 at the 912
Maybe
address.
we did. I don't know. I can't ask him, unfortunately. That's back when the area code was 904.
Sure.
And we'd call 884-7171.
Yeah, that was
Central telephone time.
that.
317.
No, that was 844. 884
Was a Herbert storyline.
Horrible storyline, exactly.
Okay.
And the time and temperature was 844 anything. Most people remember 1212. You gonna do it or me? Okay. And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Your daily source for local news, local sports, community engagement, a little bit of community sounding board, local history whenever I can sprinkle it in. And we're going to sprinkle around, for this next segment, a little bit more college football talk and NFL playoffs. Sticking around with us has been Irish Bill. Thanks so much for sticking with us, bud.
Big honor.
All right, thank you for that, man. This is the cutting edge local news that you don't get anywhere else. Appreciate it. So we've talked a little bit about the excellent game last night between Miami and Ole Miss. Miami being an absolute force, looking exceeding expectations. I think they have finally arrived back. And now they're going to face the winner of tonight's matchup between Oregon and Indiana, which is a rematch of a previous regular season matchup where Indiana traveled out to Autzen Stadium in Oregon and put a little hurting on Oregon. Who do you got in tonight's matchup?
You know, Bill, speaking of defense, Oregon, you give up 34 points to James Madison, then you goose egg Texas Tech. How do we explain that? Weren't they there in 2008 with Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree?
Yeah, but we didn't have the playoff. That was still BCS.
Yeah, but it was still the BCS area. Yeah, it seemed like it was a decade ago. And unfortunately, everything Signetti, the culture he brought to JMU, Billy Napier will take care of that in a not positive way. Billy Napier can recruit better than almost anybody I've ever seen, but there are middle school coaches that can out-scheme him.
Ron Zook was a good recruiter, too.
Ron Zook was a great recruiter. Ron Zook, basically, the 2006 national championship team, and Bill could probably tell you, that was basically Ron Zook's team. Chris Leak, Dallas Baker,
Aaron Hernandez.
All those guys. Aaron Hernandez was not on the 2006 team. Yeah, Aaron Hernandez was a freshman in 07, and he was on the 08 national title team that beat Sam Bradford in Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. Seems like we have a lot of Fiesta Bowl memories. My biggest Fiesta Bowl memory was the Statue of Liberty, Boise State versus, were they playing Oklahoma as well, Bill?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the broadcast was capped off by a proposal after a remarkable game.
His first name was Ian. His last name is escaping me.
Rushmeyer.
Sounds about right. But that was, yeah. I mean, they had the hook and lateral. They had the Statue of Liberty. They had like 3 different really cool trick plays to end that game. That was really.
And if any, they all worked. But let's face it. Back then, the Big 12 was not exactly known for a defense.
So do you think Indiana gets it done tonight? Sports scripting is kind of weird. It's very hard to get a second win over someone because they kind of know your ins and outs and they can game plan a little better. Do you think Indiana gets it done?
No, but, it's like Gareth alluded to. I am a huge proponent of sports scripting. And we all know how hard it is to beat a good team twice in 1 year, much less twice in a month or 2 months, however long ago the first Oregon-Indiana game was.
Yeah, we saw it with the Patriots and the Bills in the NFL. And we're going to be seeing it, speaking of the NFL, we're going to be seeing it again in the first matchup on Saturday, the Rams at the Panthers. That is another rematch where the Panthers, who have won the NFC South with a losing record, are actually going to host a playoff game. And I guess it makes sense since they have a losing record, are actually going to host a playoff game. And I guess it makes sense since they actually beat the Rams earlier in this year. I'll let Brady take over the rest of the questioning for this.
Brady, do we know? Does anybody know? Is Jordan Love cleared to play for the Packers?
The last I heard, yeah, he's cleared, so
Okay.
coming off there this time. Yeah, and I think I did hear that on maybe Friday or Saturday when I did the clear last week, but Green Bay was the only team in either conference and team in position to watch that man at win or loss. So they just sat Jordan, they let Willie Phillips go out there, do his thing, and they took who didn't go and so forth. Personality and everything else in Chicago Bears. If y'all watch that game over Christmas break, that was last time they played. The Bears had a late onside kick, and then it was into overtime, and more, and the winning touchdown. Now, this is a storied rivalry, and Ben Johnson has the Bears back into electric Chicago Bears football. And they're contesting the captains now that Aaron Rodgers, their father is gone, and he's going to take the Bears and he's going to take Tomlin. So that's like the most exciting game this football is, just because of how storied that rivalry is. One thing that I'm going to be looking at a lot though, which maybe, I mean, this team might not be able to see this, but there was my Jaguars game, the first game, four Jags, and it's 12-5 Bears.
Bill, any idea what the temperature is going to be in Soldier Field tomorrow night about kickoff? Ooh, that in between is. Take the over on rushing and the under on passing and receiving in weather like that. By how many years is he the longest tenured coach in the NFL at this point?
Well, if Harbaugh had 18.
Right. Yeah.
Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers, and all these quarterbacks, and they win in 10 games, 11 games, 9 games, making the playoffs, and still not winning. And it should be a testament to how dominant and how good he's doing at maximizing the talent.
And
That is a great stat.
that's very
Yeah,
impressive.
when Kevin and I were growing up, it was Bill Cowher that defined the Steelers.
Yeah,
for us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Bill Cowher was Steelers. Dave Wannstedt stood out to me, the Dolphins. Denny Green, Minnesota.
They are who we thought they were.
This is that part of the show. Our Bill, thanks for coming on. We'll, we're going to break it tonight. We already ready to watch things. We're going to talk to you Monday about it. Hopefully you come on Monday. And that's it.
Yeah, we want you on at 4 o'clock on Monday. All right.
And let's not forget Choctaw Fort Walton basketball.
All right.
See you after break. Thank you.
What?
We'll be back after this.
I've never seen this. What does this do?
Yeah, I don't know what it does.
I haven't seen it before, have you?
That's what's plugging us into the board.
Oh, it's probably usually just hidden behind.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Oh, it's already 4:30. You got less than 30 minutes left. Are you gonna go home before the game, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I'm going home before the game.
Because
Hey, don't forget about the Choctawhatchee Fort Walton Beach basketball game tonight. They
At the TP.
at the TP, and we have 30 minutes left in the show, and we no more guests. So
And I have dozens and dozens of Choctaw Fort Walton basketball games under my belt. And if you want to get a seat, you better be there for the JV game, or you will not even get in the building.
for show. And Rebecca is watching. She's class of 1996 with us. Thanks for tuning in, Ann.
Thank you, Ian.
850-374-3468. Why don't you give us a call, man? Give us tell us if we suck or if we or how we could suck less, or if maybe talk about how awesome Brady is. Either way, the floor is yours. Otherwise, I'm finna go into a local news report.
When was the last time we called him Brady Books?
Anything's better than Tater. I don't like Tater.
I don't either. Unless it's tater tots.
I
Those
do
are
like-
delicious.
You can eat your tots.
I know what that's from. I have never
That's-
seen that movie, so go ahead and lay it on me like everybody
Napoleon
else.
Dynamite. I can't believe you haven't seen it. But hey, it's all right. I've never seen The Princess Bride.
I never have either. I've never seen The Breakfast Club. I've never seen 16 Candles. I've never seen
So you just missed the whole
Say
Rat Pack
Anything.
thing. St. Elmo's Fire.
Mystic Pizza. Never seen any of that. When Harry Met Sally, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Never.
I've never seen Death Becomes Her.
Because
People
when you
used to
see National
that.
Lampoon's Vacation, 80s comedies, movies will not live up to that.
Yeah.
There's no sense in watching it. Nothing will be funnier.
Russ, your feet.
Russ! Right here, Dad.
Yeah.
And every movie, even Vegas Vacation, there's that spot. I want to know where the hell's Cousin Eddie, because he usually eats these things.
Not lately. He found out that squirrels were high in cholesterol.
Squirrels are high in cholesterol, yes. But he did tell Aunt Catherine after the baby comes she can quit one of her night jobs.
That's true.
What a guy.
Yeah, them.
What a husband,
One of
what
them,
a father.
Only one of them, though.
Yeah, what a husband, what a father.
That was a nice little kitchenette that they were cooking in, too.
Yeah, that they rented it on wheels? Well, don't you be getting too used to it, because we're taking it with us when we leave here next month. You surprised?
Surprised. If I woke up tomorrow with my face under the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now, Eddie.
Thanks, Dad. You taught me everything I need and everything I know about exterior illumination. With his Bears gear on, Bill would like that. Bill would appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he would
Chevy
have.
always had his Bears gear on.
He sure did.
I believe he
Even
did.
when he was taking the first selfie ever in National Lampoon's
Yes.
European Vacation in front
Yes.
of the Eiffel Tower.
What about the pyramidal tracks? What do you think the rent is there these days?
The pyramidal tracks are it's a housing development outside of
I
Cairo.
wonder if it's subsidized or if it's,
It's the pyramidal tracks. It's a combination of synapses of lower motor neurons. I'm sorry. The correct answer, of course, is upper motor neurons. Upper.
Yeah.
Still in it, Griswolds. Yeah, we're stupid with movies. We're still.
At least we're not doing this on the air.
What lieutenant led that expedition?
Clark, that's it!
Of Lewis and Clark. And the Griswolds were grand prize winners.
Pig and a poke winners.
Pig and a poke, it pays to be a glutton. Pig and a poke.
You could win all or nothing.
Yeah.
And Clark was nutting when they won that grand prize.
Fun fact about that movie: their last name was spelled Griswold with an A, but in every other movie it was with an O.
It was an O, yeah. Oh, all the way. By the way, my diction for tonight: Oregon.
We never talked about the Patriots and the Chargers, though.
Drake May versus Justin Hebert.
So what's your pick? Chargers,
You know,
Patriots.
I am a huge sports fan. You've known that all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I like to look at myself as very knowledgeable about sports. Honestly, NFL is my least watched sport.
It wasn't always that way for you.
No, it's just somewhere along the line it became the Vince McMahon moniker, No Fun League. It's just, you know, I'm a closet tennis guy. Nobody knows that about me. I'm a closet tennis fan. There's a very big tournament tonight in Brisbane, Australia, Rod Laver Arena, with some very big matches. And both number ones in the world, Yannick Sinner on the men's side and Arena Sabalenka on the women's side, will both be in action. So that is must-watch tennis for fans. Yannick Sinner is a machine, and it's a throwback to when tennis had stars and rivalries. In the 80s, you had Ivan Lendl, John McEnroe. In the 90s, you
Boris
had
Becker,
Boris
don't forget
Becker.
him.
In the 90s, you had Boris Becker, Andre Agassi. Now, Brady, you know, we have Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. And in the women's draw, we have Arena Sabalenka and Coco Gauff. So for the first time in decades, we finally have name value, star power, and rivalries.
You also skipped over late 70s, early 80s with Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe.
Chris Everett Lloyd, Martina Navratilova.
Jennifer Capriati and Monica Seles.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe and... Never mind.
Wow. Billie Jean King and that weird nerdy guy.
AIDS.
Yeah, I know. He was.
That was his rival, I think.
That was low-hanging fruit.
That's why I did not. But if anybody knows a couple of former French Open champion, Yannick Noah had a pretty famous son.
Joe Kim Noah.
Yeah, his dad was a French Open champion.
Did Yannick have a huge Cro-Magnon forehead like Joe Kim did?
No, Yannick had a French forehead. Yannick's mom was Miss Switzerland, so Yannick did pretty well for himself.
Okay, all right.
What about Nick Saban? If I was the Miami Dolphins, I would make Urban Meyer say no.
Saban already coached for the Dolphins. Is that why
Urban
you
Meyer
said-
had an undefeated season at Bowling Green, an undefeated season at Utah, 2 national championships at Florida, and 2 national championships at Ohio State. I wouldn't say a negative thing about Urban Meyer. Didn't Nick Saban lose at home to Louisiana Monroe his first season at Alabama? Urban Meyer had an undefeated season at Bowling Green. I don't think people understand the magnitude of that. Bowling Green. And you know a MAC team, you know they played Power 5 teams at the beginning of their schedule. That's the way college football works. Your Toledos, your Bowling Greens, your Kent States, your Akrons, they're always going to play your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Michigan States, the teams like that.
Well, they didn't play Ohio State that year because Bowling Green's is that in Kentucky or Ohio?
It's Bowling Green. Bowling Green is in Kentucky.
Okay, because I said Ohio State hasn't lost to a team from the state of Ohio since like 1922.
But then again, Urban Meyer coaching Bowling Green with Dan Mullen calling plays, is that even fair for the MAC?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How about them Chargers at the Patriots? What you got for that, Brady Brooks?
Was Natron Means that one-hit wonder? Wasn't he for the Chargers?
He played for the Chargers back in the day, the
and
San Diego
and
Chargers.
he was kind of a one-hit wonder, correct?
Yeah, he had a couple.
Kind of like
decent
Christian
seasons.
Okoye, Barry Word,
Yeah.
among others.
Yeah, well,
What about his girlfriend? You can't see her like John Cena.
Overall, I think I'm gonna have to go with the, man, this is a really, really good game. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna do my TV. I think the Patriots are gonna come out and I think they're gonna win. I think you can play things somehow. I think
Yeah.
Vrabel will impact that. The way Jaguars go, and I have been saying Jags always, but I've been thinking about it. I think the Bills have been there. They have done that. Ian Cohen's first year as a head coach, I think he's going to suffer a loss here against Buffalo, and they're going to win that game. So if the Pats and the Bills and the
And who do the Steelers play?
that's on Monday night.
C.J. Stroud versus Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has been slinging it, and CJ Stroud, that defense has been carrying that team. I think if the Steelers win this, they have a good chance coming out to the AFC as anyone, but that's if they win, and I don't think they will. I think the Texans are the weakest Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC. I think the Rams and the Panthers, the Panthers won this game at the end. I think they were top game. I think the Rams are going to see a Super Falcons at home. So I think it's going to be the same. I said New England Patriots, and I think
Christian McCaffrey fans.
I think that they're going to be
Lewis Williams fans, speaking of Choctaw and LSU.
That's right. The Chargers have got to travel all the way across the country to face the Patriots. I think that it's the Patriots' time. I don't think that it would be a huge disappointment for them to have done what they did throughout the regular season and to just crap the bed here at home in the first round of the playoffs. I do like the way that things shape up seeding wise beyond this game. It looks like they would avoid the Bills, were the Bills to beat the Jaguars. I think the Bills would go to Denver next week. So
I get a kick when people talk about cross-country trips in professional sports. These guys are on private jets. They're not riding charter buses like high school and non-Power 5 college programs. I've always got a kick out of that. Whether it be MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL, these cross-country trips, they're on a private jet and they're going to be there in 4 hours. Yeah, absolutely. The San Diego and
If I'm Mike Vrabel and the Patriots and the Patriots fans, I'm thinking Pittsburgh, obviously you could possibly throw on you don't teams, you lose your advantage by having,
the state of Kansas itself, which is where probably most of the people actually figured they played anyway.
Absolutely. Brady, just to check your knowledge a little bit, where did Mike Vrabel play college football without looking?
He caught like 7 touchdown passes in his career.
There you go. Yeah.
Mike Vrabel's respected. I'm glad he got another shot at his coaching after what happened in Tennessee. The talent had stopped and around it. It's always been kind of a problem there. They seem to hit on Dallas Cowboys, but I'm putting my name in the game. I won't be upset, but it would be really fun to watch him
But what was always head scratching to me is just the way they just let Derrick Henry kind of go. Yeah, I mean he's easily the best running back in the NFL in my opinion.
Yeah, but is it a bigger story that they let Derrick Henry go, or a bigger story that the Giants let Saquon Barkley go, and then what he ended up doing for the Eagles?
That's terrible.
It's Charles Barkley.
Oh. I did see that clip on a trailer or something. I do know what you're talking about. Right, right.
It really is. Anyway, the Patriots are going to win.
Since the Vikings aren't in it.
Yeah. Look, yeah, we were for. You know, I'm having a hard time rooting for the Vikings because of all the crap that's going on in Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm just not a big J.J. McCarthy fan. I think it was a terrible draft pick.
Yeah, let's just tease that. Yeah, we've avoided any sort of political. We haven't really talked about Venezuela. We haven't all week long. I have avoided. It's been nothing but uplifting, happy-go-lucky, great guests and whatnot. We will save this very last segment to give you a take, I guess, on the breaking news that's happening in Minneapolis and Minnesota. And I guess we'll all have something to say about that. You've been listening to Gareth Stearns, Brady Brooks, and Kevin Horgan. Stick around for one more segment here on For Walton Beach, What We're Doing.
Boy, that fog is not going to lift, is it? What if Brady can hook us up with free Chick-fil-A yet? Or has he not been there long
It
enough?
needs to happen.
It does need to happen. Because I could go for an 8-count nugget with Polynesian sauce and some large waffle fries, or I call them Warfel fries.
Warfel fries.
Yeah.
You know what?
You want to go eat at the,
Danny should get in there.
Waffle House after the game?
I need someone to get me in. I need to get Danny in here.
He would absolutely be on here with his Desire Street Ministries thing. He would be easy.
I've actually got a really nice 1995 starting lineup figure that's never been opened, and I've always wanted to get him to sign it in like a nice
He
big
would.
gold pen.
In a heartbeat.
I want to know how he felt when you got a street named after you. Hey, that's really cool.
Danny Warfel Way.
And then it was a garden and gold sign. I've always wanted to ask him.
Oh yeah, I
Right?
wonder if he knows
Did he ever
the
think that
color
was
of the
big?
sign though.
Maybe he's colorblind.
Ask
I
him
don't
what
know.
happened to his hair. Didn't that guy ever have hair?
Who won the arm wrestling match between you and Jeff in that photo
Yeah.
on the?
Now the coolest one was him and Kenny Felder, Danny Warfel, and Jeff with the dress like the Wild West with the shotguns. You remember that showcase? That was the best cover in my opinion. That was the cool
we've
cover.
got traffic accident west of Navarre. Traffic backed
That's
up all
every
the way
day.
to Marietta.
That's every day. But that's also actually Seth Stringer's very favorite. He has all the old showcases on his desk. And he said the Kenny Felder, Danny Warfel, Jeff Peters Wild West one is his favorite cover of every showcase ever, produced and printed.
Do we have a song to come back to? Do we have a song?
You wanted to sing, or were you asking for real?
Huh?
Did you want to sing, or were you asking?
No. I was just.
I thought you wanted to
we haven't had much songs this. Oh, gotcha. The Braves haven't done squat in the off season.
What?
The Braves really haven't done squat. They've got that Korean shortstop,
High school Kim? Yeah.
but what else have they gotten?
Nobody.
And I guess they're going to be a little more healthy with their starting pitching.
Yeah, well, they got a big time reliever from the Padres, Rodriguez. I mean, this guy was an all-star. Rodriguez. Not A-Rod. R-Rod.
Wanna see you lying in your purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Woo!
Did they play Master of Puppets?
I'm sure I'm going to get a copyright violation. Prince don't play. Even in the afterlife, Prince don't play.
He doesn't even purify
Well, I mean, he
himself.
plays basketball.
But he will not purify himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Dave Chappelle show reference.
Yeah, well, mine was too. Looks like we've got a traffic update. This comes courtesy of one of our Facebook simulcast viewers. Traffic accident west of Navarre. Traffic backed up all the way to Mariester. And this is not the time of day that you want to see that happen, because even without the traffic accident, this is the time of day where that little section of 98 turns into just a not fun area to drive.
I believe years ago it was kind of adopted the name Bloody 98.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I thought that's
segue.
the blading.
All right, Well, you know what I'm really tired of these days? I'm tired about every major news event, particularly something as serious as the ICE agent fatal shooting of a woman in Minneapolis this week, instantly becomes a litmus test for people's political identity. We don't even wait for the facts anymore, or any context, or for the investigation. People just jump online like they're on a battlefield, determined to take sides. One side sees a headline and suddenly they declare the woman as a threat who deserved what she got. The other side sees the same headline and declares her an innocent victim, a mother who had just dropped her kid off at school and should never have been shot. Let me be clear. That's not how the real discussions happen in the real world. Real life, not social media life, has shades of gray. But on your feed, no, there's never any gray. There's only Team A or Team B. You don't just disagree with someone, you dehumanize them. You people are stupid. Before all the facts are in, before investigators even finish collecting evidence. It's like the algorithm requires that every story plug into somebody's predisposed worldview. One group says she was a threat, the other group says she was an innocent mother, and both sides act like them being right means the other side must be idiots. Or worse. We have lost the ability to say, I don't know yet. Let's hear all the facts. This is complicated. There's more to this than a soundbite. That used to be the foundation of an honest conversation. Now it's the exception. And this isn't just politics or this one incident. This is the pattern. The reflex where people go online to pick fights. And the whole goal is to destroy the person on the other side rather than understand them. People post things they'd never say in real life. They attack strangers because behind the screen they feel invincible. They twist narratives to score points, and they never ever step back and ask, could it be more complicated than my first impression? Here's a reality check. Life isn't a meme. It isn't a hashtag. It isn't a bullet point. Life is messy. Reality is nuanced. People's motives aren't always evil or saintly. And until we can acknowledge that shades of gray exist, there's absolutely no point in even having a discussion. Because what passes for a conversation online today is basically shouting at one another with emojis and caps lock. And if we actually want to understand one another, if we actually want to make sense of events like this Minneapolis shooting, then we have to stop pretending we already know all the answers before all the facts are in. That's not weakness. That's clarity. That's humility. And it's something our culture, society needs right now, desperately.
ChatGPT knocked that out of the park. Not one single person as a single individual can make a difference. So sometimes I just kind of adopt the moniker of I stay out of it because what does my voice matter?
That's
I vote, but I feel the same way about elections. No presidential election will come down to one vote. Ever.
Because I like to say that I know what I'm talking about. I might get to that after I'm learn more. If we can really, really do it, and I think, the women couldn't do that.
yeah.
Like you said, I had kind of formed an opinion on the matter when I saw the headline. Because obviously headlines are different situation and so when I seen something, like a shooting and like that, I kind of I thought it was kind of like they were trying to arrest someone thought that after that shot. So, in the video though, and I don't think it is controversial. I'll speak with that. Whether or not she's there for Brett Robinson, speculated that she was there for them. Video shows if she had no background information is her parking traffic, how much parks there on the road, in terms of cars to shoot out, there's an officer decision making to the step, but it's also like if you put in that situation, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem with the things and I'll get about that.
And you know, I've seen a lot of videos from a lot of different angles, and I don't have an opinion for my aforementioned reasons, but at the end of the day, it clearly appeared she drove at a law enforcement officer with her vehicle, which is considered a deadly weapon.
Yeah, it's
That's
man.
the bottom line to me.
Right.
So allegedly what had happened, in the video, you can see her waiting. I guess there was a blockage going on. And she went to go get out and go on. There was a car that was stopping her, and she went to go around it. And when she tried, someone who came from behind her passed her. She waved him on, and then the next car that came up was an ice truck. And she waved him on, thinking they were going to go. The guy got out of the car to get off. At this time, I'll call him the gunman, the ICE officer who's investigating. The woman was had his phone out, he was recording her license plate. I guess he was going to kill or whatever. And the victim's wife was outside of the car, also getting the ICE officer. Hey, I do that same thing. You don't change our place every night. That's the same
You know, on the wife's video that I saw shot, you can clearly hear the officer ask her to get out of the car. And at the end of the day, just make it easy and you follow a lawful command. That is the law.
And what I can accuse her, I think, is the fact that she got multiple commands from multiple officers. Originally, she was told to drive away. When she purchased the way the lifestyle car, she didn't drive away. So they asked me to get back in, and we asked me to leave. So in the video, this is my interpretation. I encourage everybody to watch the video, use your own interpretation, do not listen to what movies on radio station tell you.
That know more about sports than politics.
Just watch the video and interpret yourself how I view it, and I will, fight for my own side. She was hurt, she was drive away from the cops, and the guy in front of her, and you can interpret that with, so I think this is what we're doing. I think she was trying to get away.
Well, the roads are icy, so the wheels are going to spin and they're going to turn, even if you're trying to go straight, sideways, backwards, whatever.
I think, yeah, like I said, all my friends told me that. I think she had turned diagonally and wanted to drive away. But what she's not doing, the purpose of this came to it, they should be following. Firearms may not be, you get caught today, and say that when you get specifically firearms, other than or the vehicle is operating in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious physical injury to the officer or and no other objective, reasonable means of defense of security, which includes moving out of the passenger vehicle.
But
It is not debatable if the gun went off all three times and the officer, his feet and his body were out of the way of the vehicle, and he never got hit by the vehicle, he did not be defensive of firing a shot, which means that he could have had a way of moving out of the passenger vehicle, shooting somebody and getting that, I guess would be a manslaughter charge, does not mean that I say that, it's like, what are you doing? You make that difference.
Do you think that ICE agent woke up that morning wanting to kill somebody or to pull his gun and do what he did?
No, not at all. I think you can make your own get some of this, I'm not sure how the guy is going to do it. He's a king of that. One thing I'm concerned about, which is an important company, is what kind of he has a secret. Maybe just evaluate a little bit higher, because the purpose of ICE is to make this. What that means is more dangerous, and you don't want to.
Nuance and gray areas are important. They exist. Hey, listen, thanks for sticking with us all week long. I do want to tease Monday at 3:15. I'm going to be joined by YouTube, TikToker, Instagrammer, influencer Justin Nunley. Will be with us in studio at 3:15. For Walton Beach, what we're doing. Have a great week. End. Weekend.
Follow lawful.
Justin Nunley, Monday, 3:15 in studio. Hey, listen.